Hope you all are safe. Welcome you all to the class 9, the first online class of this 9th grade. The first topic which you are going to see is laws of motion. Yes, what is the first topic which you are going to see? The first topic which you are going to see is laws of motion. Yes, what is meant by law first? Law is nothing but this is the statement that are being proved by the scientists, that are universally proved by the scientists through various observations, experimentations, explanations and conclusions. Name some laws that you are familiar with. Yes, the famous law is nothing but Newton's law of gravitation. In this class, we will see various Newton's laws, namely Newton's first law of motion, second law of motion, third law of motion. Shall we get into the topic? Yes. First, before getting into the topic, physics, you might have learned that physics asks questions what, how and not why. In your previous classes, you would have learned what is motion. Yes, what is motion? Motion is nothing but movement of objects. Motion is in general is nothing but movement. Yes, you might have studied various types of motions, namely linear motion, oscillatory motion, circular motion. Yes, what is linear motion? The objects which moves in a straight path is called as the linear. Linear is nothing but it is the straight line. Then circular motion. Objects which moves in the circular path are called as the circular motion. Next is your oscillatory motion. Oscillation is nothing but to and fro motion. To and fro motion of the pendulum. To and fro movement of object is called as the oscillatory motion. You would have studied what is motion, types of motion, that is linear motion, circular motion, oscillatory motion. In this laws of motion, you will study various causes of motion. You will study various causes of motion. For example, if you observe a bus is moving, you will think, no, what causes this bus to move? What makes this bus to move? The causes, you will think of it, right? And you think why this bus is moving? No, we will think what makes this bus to move, what causes the bus to move. Okay, likewise in this class we will see various causes of motion. Before getting into that, as I said before, Newton's 3 law of motion, namely Newton's first law, second law and third law. Those 3 laws will be explained based on force. Newton's first law, second law and third law will be explained based on force. What is force first? Force is nothing but it is the push or pull of an object. To pull the object or to push the object, we will apply some force. If we apply some force only, that we can push or pull that object. Force is nothing but it is the push or pull of an object. Now, before getting into this topic, we must know what is meant by mechanics. Mechanics is nothing but it deals with the effect of force on bodies. What is mentioned mechanics? Mechanics is nothing but mechanics deals with the effect of force on bodies. Mechanics is further subdivided into static and dynamic. Static and dynamic. Static is nothing but objects at rest. Dynamic is nothing but the moving objects. Mechanics deals with the effect of force on bodies. This mechanics is further subdivided into static and dynamic. Static is nothing but, in general, static is nothing but in rest position. Dynamic is moving bodies. The state of motion that the bodies are at rest are called as the static motion. The motion of the moving bodies are called as the dynamic motion. Motion is nothing but movement. Yes. This dynamic is further subdivided into kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics is nothing but motion of bodies without considering the cause of motion. This dynamics is further subdivided into kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics is nothing but motion of bodies without considering the cause of motion. Kinetic is nothing but motion of bodies considering the cause of motion. Next is your force of motion. As we have said before, what is meant by force and motion? Force is nothing but it is the push or pull of an object. At our lower classes, we might have studied 4 fundamental forces, right? Yes, what are the four fundamental forces? Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, strong nuclear force and weak nuclear force. Is what is force? Force is nothing but push or pull of an object. Then the definition of force is being defined by Sir Isaac Newton, right? Is what is that definition? Force is nothing but it is the external agency applied on a body to change its state of rest and motion. Is what is the definition of force given by Newton? Force is nothing but it is the external agency applied on a body to change its state of rest and motion. That is the definition given by Sir Isaac Newton. Now here what is force? It is the push or pull of an object. Next, as I said before, motion is nothing but it is the movement. This motion is further subdivided into natural motion and violent motion. Natural motion and violent motion. This natural motion is force independent. It does not depend on any force. Natural motion is nothing but it is force independent. It does not depend on any force. No force is needed to apply to move, push or pull that object. Next is your violent motion. This is force dependent. It depends on force. We must apply some force to move the objects. What are the two motions? Natural motion and violent motion. This natural motion is force independent. Violent motion is force dependent. Next is your inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is nothing but the inherent property of a body. Inherent is that inability. Inherent is nothing but inability. The inherent property of a body to resist any change, its state of rest and motion, unless it is influenced upon by external unbalanced force. Yes, what is inertia? This might be asked in 2 marks. Define inertia. Is what is inertia? Inertia is nothing but this is the inherent property of a body to resist any change, its state of rest and motion, unless it is influenced upon by external unbalanced force. For example, the book which is lying on the table. This example is not given on the book, right? For example, book that is lying on the table. If a book is on the table, placed on the table, we want to move that book. If I go and touch and move that book only, it will get replaced. Otherwise, it will remain in the same position. I am applying some force. That is nothing but inherent property of the body to change its state of rest and motion. The body remains in its state of rest and motion unless an external force acts on it. Unless we take the book and replace in the other position, the book remains in the same state of rest and motion. That is law of inertia. Is what is law of inertia? The inherent property of the body to resist any change, its state of rest and motion. Two states are involved here, namely state of rest and state of motion, unless it is influenced upon by external unbalanced force. This is inertia. We have seen what is mechanics, deals with the effect of force on bodies. Mechanics are subdivided into two, static and dynamic. The motion of bodies at rest is called as the static motion. Motion of the moving bodies are called as the dynamic motion. This dynamic is further subdivided into kinematics and kinetics. Kinematics is nothing but motion of bodies without considering the cause of motion. Kinetics is nothing but motion of bodies considering the cause of motion. Next, force and motion. What is force? We have seen two types of motion, natural motion and violent motion. Natural motion is force independent. It does not depend on any external force. Violent motion is force dependent. It depends on external force. Some external force should be applied to move the objects, etc. That is the violent motion. Next is your inertia. This is your 2 mark. Define inertia or what is inertia. If they ask, you have to write this definition with example. What is the definition of inertia? The inherent property of the body to resist any change in state of rest and motion unless it is influenced upon by external unbalanced force. Example, book lying on the table. Next, there are various types of inertia that we will see now. So far, we have seen what is mechanics. Mechanics is divided into static and dynamics. Dynamics is divided into kinematics and kinetics. Then we have seen the definition, two types of motion, namely natural motion and violent motion. Next, we have seen the definition of inertia. What is inertia? Inertia is nothing but the inherent property. Inherent is nothing but inability. In the inherent property of the body to change its state of rest unless an external force acts on it. Okay, that is inertia. It will be asked in a 2 mark. Okay. Next, what are all the types of inertia? There are 3 types of inertia, namely inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. What are the 3 types of inertia? Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. What is inertia of rest? Inertia of rest is nothing but resistance of body to change its state of rest. Resistance of a body to change its state of rest. For inertia, I have told you an example, that book lying on the table. The book, if I keep a book on the table, the book will be in the same position unless I apply some force. Unless I take the book and replace it in the other place, the book will remain in the same place, right? The force, unless I apply some force, the book will be lying on the table in the same place. I have to apply some force and take the book and replace it in the other place. That is the example for inertia of rest, object which is in the rest position. Next, inertia of motion. Motion is nothing but it is the movement, moving bodies. Inertia of motion, resistance of body to change its state of motion. Rest, resistance of the body to change its state of rest. For motion, resistance of a body to change its state of motion. For example, if an athlete is running, what he will do? He will do various exercises like jumping, etc. Right? What he will do before running? He will jump. He will run for some distance and then he will jump. Why he is running? If he runs, he can jump to the higher height. So he will run. That is the example, inertia of motion. Motion is nothing but moving objects. Right? Next, inertia of direction. Resistance of a body to change its state of direction. Rest, motion and direction. What is inertia of direction? Resistance of a body to change its state of direction. Example, when we sharp turn while driving, we will lean sideways. If you are driving in a car, right? If you are going in a car, if the car wants to turn at some end, what will do? The car will turn at the end, right? U-turn. What we will do? We will lean sideways, right? If the car is turning to the right, we will lean rightwards. If the car is turning to the left, we will lean leftwards, right? That is inertia, change in direction. Inertia of direction. What is inertia of direction? Resistance of a body to change its state of direction. When we travel in a car, if the car wants to turn to the left, we will lean leftwards. If the car wants to turn to the right, we will lean rightwards. We will lean on the side of the car which is turned. Which side it turns, we will lean that side, right? That is inertia of direction. Next, so far we have seen types of inertia. Inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. This they will ask in detail, define inertia and explain in detail about types of inertia. If they ask define inertia and explain its type in detail, you have to define what is inertia. Give the definition for inertia. Then there are 3 types of inertia, types of inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction. You have to define what is inertia of rest. Resistance of body to change its state of rest, and we have to give an example. Next, inertia of motion. resistance of body to change its state of motion. Example for inertia of motion. Next is your inertia of direction. Resistance of body to change its state of direction. For example for inertia of direction. This they will ask in detail too. Both the definition of inertia and types of inertia. You have to write everything. Definition. There are 3 types and you have to explain these types with example. Is it clear? Yes. Next. Yes, Galileo, who is the scientist, he compared force, motion and inertia. What is force? Force is nothing but push or pull of an object. Motion, movement of object. Inertia, inability of the body to change. The body remains in the same position unless an external force acts on it. Then, if I take 2 objects of same size, same shape, same volume, if I drop those 2 objects down, those 2 objects will fall at the same time, with the same force. Force that is applied to make these 2 objects will be of same. Okay. Now take these 2 balloons with same size, same shape and same volume. Okay. If I drop these 2 balloons down, both balloons will fall down at the same time period. Right. Force that is applied will be same for these 2 balloons. Okay. That 2 was given by the scientist named Galileo. What he told? First the earthly bodies will remain at the state of rest initially. Next, if I want to move an object, I have to apply some external force. What Galileo said? First, all the earthly bodies will remain in the state of rest. Next, if the state of rest should be changed if an external force is applied on it. Then, if we take 2 objects with the same size, same shape and same volume, the force applied to these 2 will be same. These 2 objects will be dropped. If I drop these 2 objects, it will fall down with the same force at the same time. The time taken will be same. As it has same volume, same size, etc. The force applied will be same for 2 objects, right? Next is your linear momentum. This linear momentum, it will be asked in 2 marks. Listen carefully. What is linear momentum? Linear momentum is used to quantify the impact of force. It is used to quantify the impact of force. Yes, linear momentum is expressed by the letter P. Linear momentum is represented by the letter P. Linear momentum which is equal to, next is your linear momentum. This linear momentum will be asked in your 2 mark question. Define linear momentum. Linear momentum is nothing but it is used to quantify the impact of force. What is linear momentum? It is used to quantify the impact of force. This linear momentum is expressed by the letter P. Linear momentum is expressed by the letter P. Linear momentum which is equal to mass into velocity. What is the formula for linear momentum? Linear momentum which is equal to mass into velocity. This formula you might get in 1 mark. Okay, linear momentum formula. What is linear momentum? Linear momentum is product of mass and velocity. Mass is represented by m and velocity v, p which is equal to m into v. This formula will be used to solve the problem. So remember this formula. What is the formula for linear momentum? P which is equal to m into v, mass into velocity. It is used to measure the magnitude of force. Unit of linear momentum. What is the unit of mass? Unit of mass is kilogram. What is the unit of velocity? Meter second power minus 1. Meter per second. Power minus 1 is nothing but meter per second. Yes. From this formula you can write the unit. Okay. How you will write the unit? If you can't remember the unit, from the formula you just check. What is the unit of mass? Unit of mass is kilogram, kg. What is the unit of velocity? Unit of velocity is meter second per minus 1. What is the unit of linear momentum then? Mass into velocity. Kg meter second power minus 1 is the unit of linear momentum. This unit you can get in 1 word. Okay. Next, in CGS system, you might have studied about SA system in your lower classes, right? CGS system, FPS system, MKS system. In CGS, what is CGS? CGS is nothing but centimeter gram second. Centimeter gram second. So, if you express this in centimeter gram second, here centimeter, gram and second, kg. Here you have to express this in gram, right? So kg is written as gram, meter as centimeter power minus 1. Okay, in CGS system this unit is gram centimeter power minus 1. In normal unit is kg ms power minus 1, kg meter per second. Next, this linear momentum is a vector quantity. You might have studied in your lower classes scalar quantity and vector quantity in measurement, right? Yes, what is scalar quantity? Scalar quantity has only direction. Vector quantity has both magnitude and direction. This linear momentum has both magnitude and direction, so it is called as the vector quantity. Next, we can solve a problem related to this linear momentum. Now, in the question of the problem, calculate velocity of moving body of mass 5 kg whose linear momentum is 2.5 kilogram meter per second. What is the question? Calculate velocity of moving body of mass 5 kg whose linear momentum is 2.5 kilogram meter per second. Now, what are all the contents that is given here? Mass is given, the value for mass is given and the value for linear momentum is also given. From this linear momentum formula, you have to find out the velocity. They are asking you to calculate the velocity of moving body. Yes, now, what is the formula for linear momentum? Linear momentum is expressed by the symbol P, which is equal to mv, mass into velocity. Now they are asking you to find only the velocity of a moving body. So in mathematics they would have taught you, right? The values which you are finding should be at the left hand side. Now I am taking this mv to this side, mv which is equal to p. Now you have to find only the velocity, right? So v which is equal to p. This m here is in multiples. If this multiplication goes to the other side, it becomes division. P divided by m. Is it clear? The formula for linear momentum is P which is equal to mv. We have to find the velocity. The values which you have to find should be at the left side of the equation. So I am taking it to the left side, mv which is equal to P. Here in this, you are going to find only the velocity. Now this m is in multiples. If multiplication goes to the other side, it becomes division. V which is equal to P by m. Now the values of linear momentum and mass is given in your question. What is the value for linear momentum? 2.5. Mass, what is the value for mass given here? 5 kg. Now if I cancel this, what will be the answer? 0.5. Now V which is equal to 0.5. What is the unit for velocity? Meter second per minus 1. This is the answer for this problem. You have found the velocity value. In physics, if you solve a problem, you must be conscious that you have to write the unit at the last. Okay? If you forgot to write the units, then you won't get marked in problems part. Okay? You have to write the units and the formula first. In physics, if they ask you a problem, you have to write the formula first. Formula must be written and then derivation you have to do it. At last you have to check for the unit. If you don't write unit, you won't get marked in problem part. Okay. Now, is this clear? We have found the velocity. Is this problem clear to you? Yes, good. Now, next is your Newton's first law of motion. Newton gave 3 laws: Newton's first law, second law and third law. You will study about those 3 laws in this lesson in detail. Now what is Newton's first law? Newton's first law is also called as law of inertia. Newton's first law is also called as the law of inertia. Law of inertia, Newton's first law is same. The body remains in a state of rest unless an external force acts on it. That is Newton's first law of motion. The body remains in its state of rest of uniform motion unless it is compelled by an external force. Compelled by an external force is nothing but unless an external force acts on it. That is Newton's first law of motion. It is also called as the law of inertia. Is it clear? Yes. Now we have seen the types of inertia. 3 types: inertia of rest, inertia of motion, inertia of direction, and examples for these 3. Then we have seen linear momentum. Formula for linear momentum is P, which is equal to m into v, that is mass into velocity. It is the vector quantity. It has both magnitude and direction. Unit of linear momentum is kilogram meter second per minus 1. How this unit came? I have explained you. Unit of mass is kilogram. Unit of velocity is meter second per minus 1. So this becomes the unit for linear momentum. Next, we have solved a problem on linear momentum. They asked us to calculate the velocity of moving particle. They gave the value for mass and linear momentum. Next, we have seen Newton's first law of motion. Next topic which we are going to see is force. What does the first point represents in this force? Force tries to produce motion of static body. This force tries to produce motion of static body. What does this point explains? If a body is at rest, if you want to make the body in motion, you have to apply some force. That is what given here. This force tries to produce motion of static body. Next point, it stops or tries to stop moving body. First point, the rest body. When if you want to move the rest body, what you have to do? We have to apply some force. If we have to stop the body in motion also, we have to apply some force. Next, force changes direction of moving. These 3 points represents inertia of rest, motion and direction. Next, force is a vector quantity. As I have said before, vector quantity is nothing but it has both magnitude and direction. Next, types of force. There are 2 major types of force, namely like parallel force, unlike parallel force. What are the 2 types of forces? Like parallel force and unlike parallel forces. What are called as like parallel forces? 2 or more force with equal or unequal magnitude acting in same direction parallel to each other. This word is very much important. Acting in same direction. This types of forces we can expect in 2 mark questions. Sometimes in detail too. What is force? Explain the types of force. If they combine, they will ask in 5 mark. Okay. Like parallel forces. Like parallel forces are nothing but 2 or more force with equal or unequal magnitude acting in same direction. This word is very much important. Same direction parallel to each other. This diagram is not given in your book. It is just for your understanding. I have drawn it. Okay. Now these are all the 2 or more forces. Okay. Here are some 5 forces. Just imagine. Here are some 5 forces. These forces have equal magnitude. Equal. They travel in act in same direction. This arrow mark represents the direction of the force. Here these arrow marks points in the same direction, that is upward. These forces acts in the same direction. So they are called as the like parallel forces. Is it clear? From this diagram you can understand, I hope. These arrow mark denotes the direction of the force. Now how these arrow marks are pointed in the upward direction. Now this is called as like parallel force. What is like parallel force? 2 or more force with equal or unequal magnitude acting in same direction. Example, pulling a chair. If 2 persons are standing, if they are pulling a chair, what they will do? they will apply the equal force, right? That is example for like parallel force. Next is your unlike parallel force. Unlike parallel force is nothing but the same concept, but this word will get changed. There it is in same direction. Here in opposite direction. Okay, two or more forces with equal or unequal magnitude acting along opposite direction parallel to each other. Here it is in same direction, but in case of unlike parallel forces, it will be in opposite direction. These two words are very much important in this answer. Okay, in opposite direction. Yes, here listen, see this diagram. There the arrow marks represent the direction of force. Here the arrow marks are, one arrow mark is upward, other is downward. These directions are in opposite. One is in upward, other is in downward. So this is the unlike parallel forces. Is it clear? Here the arrow marks are represented in the direction, in the same direction. Here the direction is different. One is in upward, downward, upward, downward and upward. So it is called as the unlike parallel force. Is it clear? Example, tug of war. You have seen the tug of war game. A thread will be there. Both sides. Here there will be 5 participants. Here there will be 5 participants. Who is pulling the rope to the most extent? They are the winners. Have you ever seen this game? Yes, that game is called as the tug of war. That is the example for unlike parallel forces. Next is your resultant force. Resultant force is nothing but several forces acts on a body. Combined effect of multiple force is represented by a single force. In mathematics too, you would have studied resultant vectors, etc. Right? Yes, what are the resultant vectors? It is the addition, it is the combination of all the vectors with their magnitude. There you will have A, B, C and their magnitudes will be I vector, J vector and K vector. The addition of R which is equal to A I vector plus B J vector plus C K vector. Addition of forces and their magnitudes are called as the resultant force. In mathematics you would have studied as resultant vectors. Here they are called as the resultant force. Several forces acts on a body. Combined effect of multiple forces are represented by a single force called as resultant force. In simple words we can say it is the vector sum of all forces. What is the resultant force? It is the vector sum of all forces. Sum is nothing but addition, that you have learned. Vector sum of all forces. Now for parallel force in, consider for parallel force in same direction. What will be the net force? Consider these are the two parallel forces which acts in the same direction. In physics, the arrow marks which are given in the diagrams denotes the direction. You must be very conscious on seeing the arrow mark. That arrow mark denotes the direction. For example, in force, direction of force. And in some other concepts, the arrow marks will be measured. In charge, the arrow marks will be measured from north to south, likewise. No, the arrow marks denotes the direction in physical term. So you have to note this direction, arrow mark, at what direction it is represented. Here parallel force of same direction is given here. Here see this arrow mark, these two are two forces, F1 and F2. The arrow mark denotes in the or denoted in the same direction, right? Now what will be the net force for this parallel force in same direction? F1 which is F1 plus F2. Addition of these two forces in the same direction gives your net force. Net force which is equal to F1 plus F2. Net force is nothing but resultant force. Okay. Next, parallel unequal forces which are in opposite direction. Now see these two forces, these two arrow marks are in opposite direction, F1 and F2. This arrow mark is pointed to the right, both arrow marks are pointed to the left and right? They are in the opposite direction. Now here what will be the net force? F net which is equal to F1 minus F2. This net force, here it depends on the force which is greater. If F1 is greater, then net force will be F1 minus F2. If F2 is greater, F2 minus F1. This is the simple concept. In subtraction in mathematics, what will you do? You will subtract greater number will be subtracted and the smaller number, right? In the same way here, if F1 is greater, F1 minus F2. If F2 is greater, F2 minus F1. It depends on the force which is greater, it comes first. So here, for the parallel unequal forces of opposite direction, the net force is given by F1 minus F2. Here there is a condition, if F1 is greater than F2, then F2 minus F1, if F2 is greater than F1. Is it clear? Next. Parallel equal forces in opposite direction. First you have seen parallel unequal force in opposite direction. Now parallel equal forces in opposite direction. Now these two forces in the same way they are in the opposite direction, F1 and F2. Now here parallel equal, two forces will be equal. Then how will you represent two forces is equal? Two forces F1 and F2. These two forces are equal. So F1 which is equal to F2. That is what given here. Now what will be the net force for this F1 minus F2? As they are acting in opposite direction, it is subtracted. Okay. If they are acting in the same direction, it will be added. This you have to note it. For same direction, it will be added. Forces will be added. For opposite direction, you have to subtract. The force gets subtracted. As two forces will be in opposite direction. Now here, parallel equal forces in opposite direction. Here it is in opposite direction. So in the net force F1 minus F2. Here you are given a condition, two forces are equal. F1 which is equal to F2. Then substitute this in that formula. F1 minus F2. F1 which is equal to F2. So then this will also get as F1. F1 minus F1 is 0. So the net force for parallel equal forces in opposite direction is 0. Is it clear? Are these concepts clear? Yes. We have seen what is force and types of force, parallel, like parallel force and unlike parallel force. Then resultant force. What is the resultant force and parallel force? This resultant force, equations and derivations for this resultant net force. For parallel force in same direction, if it is denoted as same direction, you have to add the forces. The net force gets added. F1 plus F2. For parallel unequal forces in opposite direction, it gets subtracted F1 minus F2. With these formulas, you will get various problems in physics. This might have been asked in 2 marks. So remember these concepts to solve the problems. Okay. Now parallel equal forces in opposite direction. Two forces are equal here but in opposite direction. Now the net force will be F1 minus F2. As these two forces are equal, F2 which is equal to F1. If you substitute here F1 minus F1, the net force will be 0. Is it clear? Yes. In this class we have seen what is inertia, types of inertia, linear momentum, force, types of force, resultant force and some concepts related to resultant force. Yes, with this class is getting over. Maintain a separate note for physics, every subject in science, physics, chemistry, biology, etc. And have a note for maintaining. You maintain the class work. Questions will be given as assignment to you. Maintain a separate note and write all the questions neatly in your note. Thank you.